Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Ellie, a stylized character that I made and animated on a low budget, and I thought it'd be helpful to share that process. So these are my dogs. Ellie's the blonde one, and Lucy's the black one, and I had recently been inspired to do a series of illustrations that were in the style of maybe a children's book or a very pencilish animation, and I thought maybe I could translate that into 3D, and so I started the process by jumping into High Paint and doing a character design. So High Paint is a drawing app that I use on my Galaxy S10 tab, and it's a great tool and a great program. I find that it works well for what I do, and I generally try to, in the same vein of like being a budget-friendly process, I try to use equipment that are on the lower end price-wise but still have that performance. Similarly, I used Nomad Sculpt on that same tablet, which is a low-cost app, and made this sculpt. Sorry I didn't record the process of that sculpt. But then I brought it into Blender, which is, again, a free program. Very powerful tool that I use a lot nowadays. I think when I had started this project, I maybe was just getting back into Blender from Maya. I learned a lot through the online school that I went to use Maya, and it is the industry standard, and I love using Maya. But again, I wanted to focus on making something of good quality, or quality that was sufficient in free or budget-friendly tools, and Blender falls right into that. For the retopology process that you're seeing here, I use an add-on called RetopFlow, which is a paid add-on, but they have a section for students where you can download it for free. I think I did start off using it for free, but I think I eventually did pay for it. But it's a great tool that works most of the time. Sometimes it's a little buggy, but compared to the way that you retopologize in Maya, I think it's really close. And I do enjoy the retopology process in Maya, but some of these capabilities of this add-on are pretty cool, where you can kind of just like draw strips or move things around. Like this is the tweak tool, or the relax tool, that you can relax it. And you'll see some of the cool things you could do with this as the video goes on. But topology is important for animation, so if you haven't learned that process, definitely there are a lot of videos on that. I won't go too much into it, but you can kind of see some of the practices that I use. And sure, maybe not everything that I do is 100% optimized, or I'm sure there are people out there that can do it better, but I pride myself in pretty good topology, and with something that you're going to do not only body animations but facial animations. In this case, you want to do a good job of setting that up for yourself, to get good facial animations and good animations otherwise. So yeah, you can see the little strips that you can create just drawing a line, and then there becomes the process of like just modeling, and not retopo on top of an existing mesh. You kind of have to balance those two tools of being able to create models from scratch, and modeling. Like for instance, this is the mouth bag, and I didn't build the mouth bag into the sculpt, so I had to do that on my own, and use my know-how of how to connect those two different meshes that will become one. So I guess now I'll use this time to talk about the actual shader that I used, that I created for this, the cartoony pencilish shader. I didn't record any of that process, but I learned all of that on YouTube, so I'll try to find the videos I used and link those here. And before we get into the texture painting side, there's an important thing we have to do first. And now we get into the fun process of creating the UV maps, which is important especially if you want to be texture painting, which I will be in Blender for this project. As you'll see, I decided to do the texture painting in Blender as opposed to Substance Painter, again, to show that you don't need to be paying for these paid products all the time, and you can use free tools like Blender, and you can get something really cool, in this case stylized, but of course there are other tools that I don't use in this project that are free as well. Tools like Armor Paint and Quixel Mixer, I guess, are on my list of tools to learn as alternatives to Substance Painter. I kind of detached from all Adobe products except for Substance Painter. So I don't even use Photoshop anymore. And finally, we've reached the rigging stage. I use the Rigify tool in Blender, which is really great for like humanoid type characters, and you can customize it for other things like the ears and stuff, which you'll see, and the tail. You can kind of add those on to an already pre-existing setup, and to me, it makes it very easy and quick to rig things. It's not always like up to full like pro level rigging. You know, there's really specialized riggers that will make really cool custom rigs, and but for this worked great. And now we're into the facial rigging side, which I'm using an add-on called Face It. It's a pretty cool add-on. It was paid to, I think it was like $100, so it's not cheap, but it gives you a lot of value for the price. And I've been using it for a lot of stuff, from like freelance stuff to my own personal stuff. And it's cool because it creates the AR kit type of face blend shapes, which allows you to do mocap and like text to speech and a bunch of other cool stuff that you can do in the app itself or cross-pollinate with like Rococo. I've seen people use the Rococo tool and get the data from that to use on a rig that I've created with Faceit. And with all these add-ons and tools, it's not just a quick fix. There is a learning process and a testing process and checking for bugs and stuff like that. So they're not like easy buttons that just solve everything for you, but they make things go faster. And as you can see, it works for me for a project like this, especially on a budget and as a team of one. And from here, I decided to go ahead and make a character based on my other dog, Lucy. And I'm going to see if I can create a short, fun, little animated scene. So stay tuned for that. I hope this was fun or entertaining. This is the first video I've made like this. So let me know what you think, and hopefully I can try to do some more. Thanks.